esports is such a tricky topic to discuss because it's good, but in the same way, it's absolutely just disgusting for the video games that you play. The reason it's so good is mostly just because it gets the name of the video game out there. And for players like myself, but let's just say I'm not doing YouTube at all. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't care about it. I'm just a Call of Duty fan. At that point, I should be happy that esports is popping because it draws more players into the game, which means that our Call of Duty games aren't going to die. They're going to be able to continue to produce these games. It means more people are still going to be playing them, and it's not going to completely drop dead. And of course, for YouTubers, it's good because, you don't want your games to die out, even though a lot of us Call of Duty YouTubers talk crap on the most recent Call of Duty games that have been dropping, but it's for a good reason. We only want to see these games improve. We don't want to see them completely flop. And if these games die out, then so do the majority of our channels. I'm sure a lot of us can adapt, but Call of Duty is how a lot of us are making content on YouTube right now. So esports allows the name of the video game to get out there, especially if it's high cash pools that they have going on. Other Twitch streamers are going to want to play the game. YouTubers are going to want to play the game. And it's going to get the word out there because those YouTubers and those content creators and streamers, they're going to get their viewer base to see what the game is like. And then maybe their viewer base will enjoy the game. And, it's a constant cycle. But at the same time, esports is really bad for our video games because it just changes the main focus of the developers of how they're making the video games now. It's no longer about the casual fun of a Call of Duty game. They make their games around the competitive scene with competitive gameplay in mind. Back then, yes, competitive play was there. It was pretty big, but it wasn't as big as it is now, where the developers know for a fact that every single year they need to keep this going. And, Activision Activision completely bought out the MLG side of Call of Duty, so they own all that nonsense now. That's why the majority of the big teams like Optic and all that stuff are not Optic anymore, and they're the Huntsmen and other teams. I don't follow that much stuff, so I don't know too much about it. But, MLG gaming is very big nowadays compared to how it used to be, where it was just smaller. You had your independent teams, and the developers didn't really focus their video game on it. Like Modern Warfare 2, for example, a completely noob-friendly video game with noob-friendly stuff littered all around this video game. But at the end of the day, there's plus and minuses for esports being in Call of Duty. Like I said, I can't complain because it gets the word out there, it gets people playing the video game, but at the same time, the games get to be too focused on esports. But the main focus of this commentary is the fact that Call of Duty Mobile is now getting esports. And it's going to be not $1 million tournament, but at least $1 million worth of prize pool money in this game for mobile. Now, this is cool. I can't complain. It's pretty awesome, It's for mobile players, which will allow people who might not even have consoles to go ahead and maybe win some money for themselves if they're good enough at Call of Duty Mobile, which is actually pretty awesome. That's nice of Activision, and I don't even think Activision is the ones who are paying it out. I think it's Sony. I think they're the ones sponsoring this. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to be portioning out the money. Maybe it's like 50-50, or maybe Activision puts a certain amount and Sony puts a certain amount. We don't know how it goes. But regardless, it's going to allow players who might not be fortunate enough to have a console to possibly be able to get enough money to get a console. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. That's really awesome. And I think that's a nice addition into the mobile scene to allow these players to do that. But at the same time, it's mobile. And I just feel like this money shouldn't be going directly into the mobile MLG scene, let alone having an MLG scene for mobile in general. Like, it's mobile. Why are people going to be playing competitive on that? I feel like the best way to play competitive is on mouse and keyboard or on controller. Mobile is good and all, but you guys see how it plays. Are we really going to be watching an MLG tournament on mobile? Are we seriously going to sit down and watch that? I don't even know if I would watch like an Optic versus FaZe, MLG event on mobile. It's just mobile doesn't play the absolute best. And I'm not trash talking mobile. Like I said, I know it's people out there who might not have a console. There might be people out there that just prefer to play on mobile. But the majority of the people who play Call of Duty Mobile is usually when you're at work and you have some extra time, or you're in class and you have some extra time, or like now we're in quarantine or something like that, and maybe your power goes out or something and you can't get on that, so you have some charge on your phone or you have some charge on your iPad, so you hop on that and play some Call of Duty Mobile. Call of Duty Mobile isn't your go-to source of entertainment. If you're going to go ahead and, full-blown play a Call of Duty game and competitively play that game as well, you're more than likely going to be playing it on console or PC. And also, this $1 million, like I said, it's nice and all. It's a good opportunity for a lot of people on their mobile devices to earn this money, but I can assure you that they're probably going to get stomped out, because I bet you tons of the sweaty players, like I said, from either, the actual competitive teams that are out here right now, or just very competitive pub stompers, are going to switch over to mobile, and they're going to be able to, sweat that out and beat out all the casuals on their mobile devices and stuff like that. It's going to be easy money. And I just don't think that this should be focused on making an MLG scene for Call of Duty Mobile. I feel like the money that they're using to get people to come to mobile should just be used to better the next game, or just better any video game in general. That's a lot of cash that could really, make or break a good Call of Duty video game. And I think that for Call of Duty 2020, especially since they have such little time to develop it, don't you think that $1 million would have went a lot better to developing Call of Duty 2020 and making sure it gets out on time and it comes out polished and it looks good and it's not, half-assed or anything like that? Don't you think it would be better to put that money towards that video game instead of hosting, competitive Call of Duty mobile gameplay? I don't know how to feel about this. I really don't know how to feel about this. The only possible way I would possibly feel okay with this whole MLG scene coming into Call of Duty Mobile and stuff like that is if it's for the casuals. If it's for the players who aren't, already competitive players. I don't want to see the Huntsman coming up in Call of Duty Mobile competing for the prize money. You know what I'm saying? They already have enough of that on console, playing the new Call of Duty games. What I want to see out of this, $1 million prize money for mobile players is I want to see, mobile players. I want to see actual players who can't afford consoles, who just aren't fortunate enough for it. Maybe they're too young and their parents don't want to get them one. Whatever the case is, they have Call of Duty on their mobile devices, and now they're capable of getting money for it. That's a very big opportunity for a lot of people out there. For a lot of people. And I want those players to be able to earn that cash. I want those players to be able to grind and put in the time on their mobile devices to win this money. But I know for a fact that these sweaty assholes are going to come over from console or from PC and stomp these players out. And I pray to God, because you guys seen gameplay from me. There's emulators all over the place that you can just play Call of Duty Mobile on your PC. On your freaking PC. If that's not broken, I don't know what is. And I'm sure that they're not going to allow that. I'm sure that it's going to be, certain requirements or certain procedures you have to go through before you get put into these, these tournaments for the money and stuff like that. But it's just another thing for you to think about. I'm just trying to toss stuff out there for you guys to, just sit down, soak it all in, and think of the actual possibilities that could go on with this competitive side for Call of Duty Mobile. But if you allow PC players to come and stomp out the, not controller players, but the mobile players, that's just messed up, man. It's just messed up. But I don't want these sweaty people to come over and ruin this experience and ruin this opportunity for a lot of players out there who are finally able to get some cash for something that they're grinding so hard for. It's a lot of people like myself that love Call of Duty, who grind Call of Duty a lot. I've been playing Call of Duty, like I say this all the time, but it's the perfect example. I've been playing since Call of Duty 4, and ever since the first time, I've gotten that love for COD. And a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to get these consoles. I was in the same exact boat, trust me. I didn't start off with, Call of Duty 4. Like I said, I used to have to go rent time to play on PC servers. You know what I'm saying? So we're just not all fortunate enough to have money like that to get these expensive consoles all the time. And here we are with the perfect opportunity. This will allow players who, like I said, might not be fortunate enough to be able to grind out and put time and effort into learning the Call of Duty mobile game, becoming a master of it, and hopefully winning some prize money. And who knows, that could eventually branch out to them getting a console. They could become better players, and who knows where these players can come from. But for me, seeing that it's a tournament for Call of Duty Mobile is just a good way of helping out the players who can't get to the next tier of Call of Duty. Because like I said, it's Call of Duty Mobile. This isn't anything serious. It's just a mobile game that we play with our free time. But some people can't get those, better consoles or whatever platform, PCs or anything like that, to play these games like the rest of us do, so they have to hop on the mobile device. And there's nothing wrong with that. You got to do what you got to do, you know what I'm saying? But this is a chance for some of these players to get something better, to improve at their Call of Duty skills, and hopefully make something for themselves, which would be absolutely awesome. I just don't want to see these MLG players come and ruin it, because like I said, they already have enough money. They get prize pools every single year, throughout the whole year, multiple different tournaments they get to play in on console. They don't need to come over to the mobile side too, They have enough money, they have enough competition. Let some of the actual good mobile players compete it out. And if that's not the case, and Activision's whole idea of this whole tournament is just to allow the MLG players from console to be able to come over and take all the money on mobile too, then I'm going to be angry, because I don't think that's a good use of money. They already have enough money, enough tournament money. If you're just going to waste more money on that, I guess just to improve the downloads of Call of Duty Mobile, you might as well use the money towards Call of Duty 2020. It's in a rough state. With the virus going around, it's going to be harder for your employees to go and finish this game. It's going to be rough, with Treyarch coming into late in the development cycle. You might need more resources to make things work. That $1 million could possibly make or break Call of Duty 2020. So if you're not using that $1 million to help out, less fortunate players make a better name for themselves in the Call of Duty community, I would prefer to see that used towards making the next Call of Duty game better. Do you think that Call of Duty Mobile should be getting an MLG scene, or do you think that they should just use that money on Call of Duty 2020? But you guys know my personal opinion. I think that the $1 million should probably be used on Call of Duty 2020. But if they are really going to be making an MLG scene out of Call of Duty Mobile, I think that the less fortunate players should be the ones that get this money, and not the already existing MLG players. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like. If you hate it, go dislike it. If you want to chat with me or see what I'm talking about, you can follow me over on Twitter, @JbowenDaMan. And also, if you want to catch me live streaming, I do that over on Twitch, @JbowenDaMan. Thank you guys for checking out this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.